Hi guys, welcome back to Mansell Media Corner. In today's video I've just found some more VHS retro cassette tapes. So without further ado, let's start with Iron Maiden's 12 Wasted Years, which I think came out in 1987, and there's the front, by the way, with the band, and there's the back. Although it said it's WrestleFest 1990 on the VHS cassette, can't tell, but it's WrestleFest 1991. And back to my all-time favourite heavy metal band, which is Iron Maiden. This is behind the Iron Curtain, where I think they toured Poland, I'm going to say. And there's some information. Yes, it is. And a bit of kind of modern wrestling in 2000 in King of the Ring. Bit of James Bond, and this was, I believe, Q's, which is Desmond Llewellyn's last James Bond appearance. And this is The World Is Not Enough, which was performed by Garbage, if I do recall. They're one of my favourite James Bonds, in Licence to Kill with Timothy Dalton. Then proper retro in SummerSlam 1990, which I may do a retro review of this particular show. There's the back. Then one of the most famous James Bond films back in the day was Goldfinger, of course. Performed by Shirley Bassey. And of course, can't go on with the classic Thunderbirds. Just got Elias, Mr. Hackenbacker, and Path of Destruction. One from 1969 in James Bond, which is the only appearance of George Lazenby, and I believe it's got a blink and a miss hit appearance with the great Joanna Lumley. Like I said, it's got Telly Savalas as Blofeld. And another one of Shirley Bassey's famous songs from the James Bond, which is Diamonds Are Forever, pardon, for 1971, with which is the last Sean Connery appearance as 007 under Arbiter Broccoli, I think it was. Then back to the wrestling, which is Super Tape 1992, which includes this Tuesday in Texas. And one of the first VHS tapes I ever had, which my grandma got me from now Morrison's, but it was Safeway in King Swingford, which is wrestling superheroes in action. And one for all football fans. This is Danny Baker's on goals and gaffs. There's a couple of the famous players. Going back to the wrestling in Survivor Series 1995 with Diesel, also known as Kevin Nash, and Bret the Hitman Hart. There's the back. And one of the worst WrestleManias in WrestleMania 11 from 1995. And one of the better Royal Rumbles of the 90s in 1997 with Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels gracing the front cover. Again, there's the back. And Tom Jones performs this signature theme song, in Thunderball from 1965. And a very famous Deep Purple concert now, which is Come Hell or High Water at the NEC Arena in Birmingham in 1993, which is famous for Richard Blackmore having a strop. Which I think was his last tour with the band. And another one of Deep Purple from Denmark in 1972. You've got stuff like Highway Star, Black Knights, Strange Kind of Woman, Child in Time. And then we got the first proper Royal Rumble in 1989. And then again, some of the wrestlers or participants who were involved. And we got the best of WrestleMania, which is 1 to 14. This is like a mini documentary about the show of shows. And one of, if not one of the best Royal Rumbles in 2003. Which I know my good friend Beat Down Bunny may have reviewed this. Prestigious shows, he likes most of these wrestlers on this. And a guy, Pugwall 316, I will leave a link in the description for you guys to subscribe to the guys I'm going to mention's channel. But he recently reviewed this. It's WrestleMania 13. Easily the one match show with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart. Amazing street fight. Of course, an absolute classic from, I'm going to say 1990 or 1991. In Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with awesome Morgan Freeman and the late great Alan Rickman, who's the Sheriff of Nottingham. I definitely know my good friend Beat Down Bunny reviewed this on his channel for me, which is Starcade 1990. And another interesting pay-per-view of 1995 in the Royal Rumble. And the last one, I know Wrestling Bios recently reviewed this one for his wrestling Reliving the War, which is Fully Loaded 1999 game, which is a brilliant show. So that's the first. Is it me? Just move this over here, boys and girls. Then on to the second, and we've got WrestleMania 10 from 1994, an amazing show as well. And I'm going to retro review this somewhere down the line, possibly next week. It's Unforgiven 2000 with the American badass The Undertaker. Then we got the best of the 1990s in World Championship Wrestling. There's the back. Then we got a double pack of WrestleMania 17, which I have on DVD, which I will review. And No Mercy, which I've also got on single VHS. You can't go on with the icon, which is Hulkamania, which is the best of. Again, we got Kiss in the Phantom of the Park. Then we got wrestling's greatest champions at the time, which was an image, I think, of WrestleMania 4. You got the Hart Foundation and Mr. Perfect, I do believe. And we got Royal Rumble 1996 with my favourite Undertaker look, which is, in real life, I think he smashed Mabel, I think it was, smashed his orbital bone. So he had to have a Phantom of the Opera type of mask to cover his top half of his face. But he took on Bret the Hitman Hart. We have Survivor Series 1988, which is more of a highlights type of a show. And we have mega matches with Macho King Randy Savage. And it's also got Big Boss Man versus Bobby the Brain Heenan. And we got the Classic 5 pay-per-view, which is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania 15, SummerSlam, King of the Ring and Survivor Series. And another mention to a fellow subscriber, which is Tony over at Tony's Retro Movie Zone, which is the box set of the original 3 Star Wars remastered, what came out in 1997, I do believe. Then one of the infamous Great American Bashes from 1991. And Greatest Hits with Texas Tornado and Mr. Perfect. And another one, a Deep Purple from 1999. In Total Abandon, where I'm performing in Australia, I believe. Might be Melbourne. One of my favourite Roger Moore James Bond films, in Live and Let Die, from 1973. Then another one of Iron Maiden, of course, the iconic Live After Death, with Big Eddie, of course, at the back. Then Starcade 89 Future Shock. Then we have Capital Combat 1990 again. Huge shout out to Beat Down Bunny. I'm not too sure if he's reviewed this, but this is a really, really good show for at the time, which I think it was the Jim Herd period. But I know he loves this guy here, Sting. And a bit of heavy metal, and of course one of the best vocalists no longer with us in the metal community, which is Ronnie James Dio. Then we have Stingray, which a lot of people don't know. I love Jerry Anderson TV shows. Then we have Problem Child with the late great John Ritter and Amy Asbeck, and also the legendary late great Gilbert Gottfried. This was directed by Robert Simmons, who directed Happy Gilmore, a film I've never seen, boys and girls. Then we have Hulkamania Forever. Then we have WrestleMania's Greatest Matches, which is an image from, I believe it's WrestleMania 2, with the American football as participating in an over-the-top battle royale. Of course, the legendary Hart Foundation, which is Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Then we have WrestleFest 1993. Then we have Invasion 2001 with Vince and Shane, which is a brilliant cover. I'm not too sure if this ever came out on DVD, but This is a really good show for what it was at the time. Then this is No Mercy 1999 on a single VHS. Then we have Iron Maiden video pieces with the band at the back. And of course, can't go on with a bit of SummerSlam, and it's just SummerSlam 1992, the original VHS cassette. Then we have Battle Royale at the Albert Hall, which is, I think, the only time, to my knowledge, WWE have ever performed in this iconic venue. There's the back. And of course, speaking of icons, the iconic debut of The Undertaker makes his WWE, WWF at the time debut at the Survivor Series 1990. And then there's the back. Then, of course, can't go on with one of the most famous wrestlers still to this day in the WWE, and it's The Rock in Know Your Role. A bit more of Sean Connery in his debut as James Bond in Doctor No, with Ursula Andress on the front cover from 1962, directed by Terence Young. Then we have Fireball XL5. Then we have Capital Carnage, which is a very fun show. Like I said in the previous videos, very interesting show nowadays. But yes. Then here I Was Born in 1981 for Your Eyes Only, which got Sheena Easton, I think, the Oscar for Best Original Song at that year's Oscars. Then we have Moonraker, which again is Shirley Bassey from 1979. Shirley Bassey performs, pardon. And the last one is Mayhem in Manchester in 1998, which is more of a highlights VHS of the United Kingdom tour. Excuse me, guys. Then the last one starts off with St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1999. Again, there's the back. And, of course, WrestleMania 8 from 1992 with the double main event. Of course, an absolute classic match with Bret the Hitman Hart and Roddy Piper. And a bit of James Bond. The screenplay by another great person whom book I used to read back in the day at school, which was Roald Dahl, but this is You Only Live Twice. again directed by Lewis Gilbert. And another WWF show from 1997 in Your House 15, I believe, A Cold Day in Hell, which is famous or infamous for the Ken Shamrock versus Vader match. And of course, can't go on with a bit of Home Alone, and directed by Chris Columbus, who would like to do Harry Potter, I think, and lots of other films, but an absolute classic, must-see Christmas film. Then we have one of the best metal bands from Germany in the Mighty Scorpions. Then we have In Your House 6 with Diesel versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Then we have the first and inaugural SummerSlam from 1988. Then we have Survivor Series 1991, which is the 5th annual show. And one for Beat Down Bunny, of course, it's Superstar Series with Sting and, of course, the man they call Goldberg. There's more like mini documentaries, but really worth checking out if you like your WCW. And we have Queen's Greatest Hits. Of course, the legendary band with, of course, Freddie Mercury. Of course, another iconic James Bond, which the theme song is by Carly Simon, of course. Nobody does it better, of course. This one got the debut of Jaws. This Bond film came out a very good year for film in 1977. There we, of course, got Octopussy, which is one of the second to last James Bonds featuring Roger Moore. So, directed by John Glenn. This one's got Louis Jourdan, I think it is. But yeah, really good James Bond from 1983. Then we have Wrestling Superheroes in Action with the legendary Legion of Doom. Of course, Roddy Piper. Looks like he's blowing a kiss. And I know Video Tasties this Monday recently done a watch party, but this is GoldenEye from 1995. Then we have Fall Brawl 1993, famous for the debut, of course, the Shockmaster, who was later Cody Rhodes, his uncle, I think. If you don't know who that is, it's Typhoon, also known as Fred Ottman. But again, a really good pay-per-view for the time. And I love this cover. It's the Royal Rumble 1991. Then a brilliant, very underrated WrestleMania from WrestleMania 5, which I got from Dudley. I think it used to be like an indoor market at the time. But this is a Mega Powers Explode. And we have WrestleMania 7 with Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. Of course, it had the career-ending match with Ultimate Warrior versus Macho King Randy Savage. Then we have from 1963 From Russia with Love. With Robert Shaw, I think was later in Jaws or something like that. This is directed by Terence Young. Then we have another one of WWE's in High Flyers, and on the front cover is the late great. Still to this day, it's hard to believe that he's passed away, almost 20 years or 30, I'm not too sure. I'm not very good on the dates of wrestlers passing, but it's the Blue Blaze, also known as Owen Hart. Of course, got another wrestler who's no longer with us in Macho Man Randy Savage. Then we have James Bond's second appearance as Roger Moore with Christopher Lee's Scaramanga, I think his name is, and Britt Eklund, which is Mary Goodnight. So it's directed by Guy Hamilton for 1974, which is The Man with the Golden Gun. And of course, it can't go wrong again with The Rock, and this is the People's Champion VHS. Then we have Thunderbirds Argo. So has an appearance in puppet form with the great Cliff Richard. So yeah, so that's my updated VHS collection. I will leave a link for the channels to subscribe to and check out their videos. They do some amazing videos, especially my good friend Pete Dan Bunny. He does some awesome, classic reviews and rankings and pickups videos. So yeah, before I go, don't forget to like, please share and subscribe, and ring the bell ring the bell icon for exclusive, for up to the date videos on Mansell Media Corner. And like I said, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I will leave a link to some great YouTube channels to check out and subscribe to their channels as well. They do some incredible videos. Like I said, Beat Dan Bunny, Big Paulie, Rock God 2004, etc, etc, etc. So, thank you for watching the channel, and goodbye, folks. Goodbye.